Hello beautiful people, how are you, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I want to talk about Zimbabwe and the recent legislation that they passed in parliament of jailing health workers when they protest. Now you need to understand that the situation in Zimbabwe is messed up, and this is not me having a go at Zimbabwe or trying to make them look bad, but it's simply showing concern as a SADC neighboring country. You understand? Zimbabwe was one of the best countries in Africa, if not the best in the region of SADC. Now the country is messed up. Help me understand. It is just human instinct. It is just human behavior. When you fail to pass across a message to someone, you end up protesting to get their attention so that they may end up addressing the situation. Now, when health workers resort to do that, you pass a bill saying that anyone who protests who is a health worker must be jailed. Now, when we say that people's rights are being suppressed in that country, some of the people in that particular country will rise up and say what we are saying is not true. Now, if you jail health workers, you threaten to jail health workers, what do you expect them to do? And when they run away from the country, they seek better opportunities in other countries. You start condemning them, you start blaming them instead of addressing the issue at hand. Now, this is a problem that we have in Africa. When health workers take a stand to do what they have done, which means things are very, very, very bad. You understand? Zimbabwe has got the best engineers, they're not in the country. They've got the best medical doctors, they're not in the country. You understand? Zimbabwe was once called the best, the bread basket of Africa and SADC. Where are they now? Zimbabwe was better than South Africa. Where are they now? These same individuals from the colonial rule who took power, they still want to hold on to power instead of releasing it to the new generation that they may take the country forward. The same mindset that they used to have when they ran down this country called Zimbabwe, power, and making nonsense laws to cripple the country even more. Now, why are you suppressing people's rights? A person has got a right to protest as long as you're doing it in a rightful and peaceful manner. Now, these health workers, there's no medication or medicine in the hospitals. There's no food in the hospitals. There's not enough beds in the hospitals. There's not enough equipment in the hospitals for patients so that they can survive whenever they're admitted in the hospital. There's no equipment for the nurses and the doctors to use in the hospitals. Yet when they say, please, may you pay attention to this, you start jailing them. Help me understand, people. Help me understand. People were coming from Zambia, Malawi, Angola, and other SADC countries to go to Zimbabwe seeking greener pastures. Now today Zimbabwe is messed up. It's not even a country that anyone would want to go to. In fact, people are coming from Zimbabwe, going to South Africa for studies, for a better life, going to Zambia for studies, for a better life. It used to be vice versa. Now, how can we change this? By removing this draconian government in place. And this is a time for Zimbabwe to act. Because if you fail to remove them during these elections that you'll be having, my friend, forget about Zimbabwe getting better. And I know people will be saying, no, but Zimbabweans are injured, some Zimbabweans are injured. Yes, you cannot take 100 people and then you take 2% of that 100 or even 0.1% or let me say 1% of that population who are thriving and you say, yes, Zimbabwe is doing better. No, look at the masses, how they are crouching in poverty. And whenever people want to bring something to the attention of the government, you start bringing in these laws to silence them. The hospitals don't have medicine, the hospitals don't have food, the hospitals don't have equipment, yet governments will go and buy one laptop for $10,000. And how many laptops did they buy? They are going to buy government cars, which cost more than $250,000, while people are suffering in the country. Now, if you have a poor, healthy system in the country is not going anywhere. That's just a fact. The life expectancy of a Zimbabwean now, the last time I checked, it was 59 years old. That's a life expectancy, 59 years old, then someone passes. I think this is not fair, not only to the health workers, but to the whole population and the entire country of Zimbabwe. I think, Mr. President, you need to revise, you need to sit down, rethink your decision of trying to suppress health workers' rights to protest when things are not okay in hospitals. That is not right. You as a government, you are a leader who was elected there so that you can heed and adhere and do the things that people want you to do. You are there to save the people instead of people saving you. Now, in politics, I don't think there is such thing as politicians being servants of the people. No, they lie when they're campaigning. Once they sit on that place of authority, they change and turn on their people. So what do you think, guys? Saying the government is saying that health workers, even if they are protesting, they must work, and if you protest more than, is it 2 or 3 days, you'll be jailed. It doesn't make sense. We love Zimbabwe, and we, as SADC countries, want to see Zimbabwe to get back to where it was. That's a fact. That's a fact. We don't like seeing our brothers fleeing their countries for a better life in other countries and overseas. It is not supposed to be like that. Zimbabwe must be back to where it was. When a country in SADC is thriving, we thrive together. When a country in SADC is suffering, we're suffering together. Look at what is happening in South Africa now. They are complaining because they're saying too much Zimbabweans doing illegal things and entering the country illegal. We cannot blame them because things are bad. You cannot stay where things are bad. That's just a fact. Even if they're doing it illegally, but, you know, that's just how it is. You cannot stay where things are bad. You have to look for a place which will suit your needs, which will provide for your basic needs as a human being. And they have found that place to be South Africa and other Southern African countries. You understand? So let us help fix this country called Zimbabwe and let them stop putting this draconian and suppressing people's rights, these kind of laws to suppress people's rights and think they are doing it for the country, but they are doing it to protect themselves who have been in power. Someone is almost 90 years old, but you still want to rule and be a president. For what? There's a younger generation which must carry on. You must learn as African leaders to pass the baton to people who will take the country forward instead of you guys trying to hold on to power and suppressing your own people. Let me tell you something. When a time comes and people rise, your own people rise against you, it won't be pretty. It won't be pretty. Yes, you might use the military, the police to go. Still, they will not stop until they see you gone. So change your ways, ZANU-PF. And these elections, I'm pleading to my Zimbabwean brothers and sisters, vote. Vote, 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 vote. And vote for change. If you don't want your country to change and be the way it has been for decades, then put this same government in power and see what they'll continue doing to you. But if you want to see your country better, give a chance to a new government and let the country start thriving once more and let it be the breadbasket that it used to be, called the Great Zimbabwe. So guys, let me hear your thoughts on the comments down below. And yeah, see you in my next one. Take care of yourselves and sharp.